Welcome into Drew's Daily Diamonds for Friday, February 21st, 2025. I am Drew Martin breaking down the slate of games. Let me know in the comments below where you agree, where you disagree. All is welcome. Your college basketball, NBA picks for this weekend, guys. It helps grow the show. Smash that like button if you're liking the content, as it's a short Friday card, but a pretty good one here. Got two games breaking down and some question and answers coming your way. 7 o'clock Eastern, Fox Sports 1. First matchup up, we are heading to the Big East Conference, Finneran Pavilion, Villanova, Pennsylvania, for Marquette and Villanova. 142 and a hook being the total. -1 to as high as -2 right now. That's Marquette as the short road favorite, kind of a split line, as they're 20-6 on the year. Talking about Marquette, 11-4 in the Big East, tied second in the standings in the conference. Villanova, a little bit rougher of a season, this year and last year, 15-12 on the year, 500 in the Big East. It's really not the same team as we've seen in years past from Nova. They only scored 62 and 59 points in their last two games. They're a slow tempo team. They actually rank in the number 350s in terms of, possessions per game. They only had 60 possessions last time out, so they're even playing slower basketball. And look, I had Marquette circled in this one, but laying a number here against Villanova, it's going to be a tough place to play. Villanova, I think, is going to have some success slowing the game down. Instead, I don't think we get to the mid-140s here, guys. I actually like this under. Marquette has also let up just 58 and 56 points in their last two games, so both of them sub-60, playing great defense. Their point guard, Cam Jones, he's a good player, but he doesn't really attack the rim right when he gets the ball. So they'll let a little clock go off as well. And we've seen it the last four games, under in 4 straight for Marquette, under in 2 straight for Villanova. I think we get more of the same here. I think this, finishes 65, 62, something like that. I think we stay short of the 140s. We're going under 142.5, Marquette and Villanova. Got one game left. It's going to be the best bet for the show, but do have some question and answers over the last, 5-6 shows, guys. You guys have hammered away a couple questions. I do appreciate that. It helps the algorithm growing the show. Feel free to fire away below with any more, plus your picks. But hit 3 of the questions here quickly. Ross asking, I believe on Wednesday's show, do you worry early games tend to hit under? And he asked the question about the Temple and Charlotte game that we had over for one of the picks on the show, one of the bets, and it ended up winning. We got to admit, we got lucky with it heading to overtime. But yeah, actually, Ross, I think I answered you in the comments as well, but I'll hit it on the show. Yeah, I actually do. In college sports in particular, in both football and basketball, I don't love betting overs in 12 noon Eastern starts, 1 o'clock Eastern starts with these college kids. Some people say 10 o'clock at night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern kick on the West Coast can be not advantageous to the team traveling out west. I don't see it like that. I see college kids, the later it is, the almost the better it is. I worry when it's an early kick. And some of these central time zones are 11 a.m. Eastern, because they got to fill the TV slots. And when those kickoffs or tip-offs in college basketball happen, I do kind of pump the brakes on betting over. So great question, Ross. And yeah, I actually look towards the under in earlier games. It's not the only handicap, but it is something I have in the back of my head. We had Miguel asking, would I do women's basketball picks? Well, Miguel, I mean, I really don't follow women's college basketball as closely, so I try not to bet, definitely do shows on sports where I'm not pretty much, living it, eating it, breathing it every single day, which I do with college basketball and then I do with Major League Baseball. So I kind of like just handicapping 1, maybe 2 sports at most. And if I did women's college basketball, 1, I don't have a love for the game. I wish them all the best. I'll watch the good games. It's nothing against women's sports. I actually enjoy women's UFC, women's tennis, women's surfing, actually. But the basketball doesn't really bring me in, and it would be too many teams for me, to be honest, with all the college basketball teams and men's basketball and then women's basketball. I don't think I would be very good at it, but I know a lot of people are, man. And it sounds like you've been hitting some bets. So have at it, Miguel, but it'd be too much for me. Got time for one more question here. Jason asking, a few shows ago, my question for the week is, why do teams struggle on the road? For example, Tuesday night, Purdue, Tennessee, and Arizona all lost on the road. I think he's talking about last Tuesday night. Is there not much of a difference between these teams, or is it just being February? Jason, great question. I mean, we've noticed it in college basketball, I would say for multiple seasons now, but it's definitely something I take into account. I mean, we just talked about Marquette and Villanova. I was looking on getting on Marquette, but going on the road here, tough place to play. I think part of it is the travel. You know, in the NFL, the home field advantage, a lot of people would say was minus 3 points years ago, you know, when I first got into this business. Now I think it's like 1 point. I really do, just because these NFL teams travel in such, you know, comfort and stay at nice hotels, and it's all planned out, you know, things of that nature. Whereas college basketball, particularly in some of these lower tier conferences, it is not like that at all. A lot of times it's long bus rides, and it's definitely showing. And I also think an aspect of it is in college basketball, in particular, is because basketball is so important with the referee calling the game. I think that home courts get on these refs sometimes, and it affects them. I don't think they're throwing the game. I think it's just human nature, and you want that on your side with the home team. So I would throw that out for reasons why. And then you bring up February. Yeah, especially if they've been traveling a bunch, you know, back-to-back road games, that second road game, I look to fade teams sometimes. And if they have 3 road games, which sometimes happens in college basketball, I'll look to fade them again. So awesome question, Jason. Thank you guys for firing away. And anything else, fire away in the comments below. Your picks are more than welcome. Premium picks available, WagerTalk.com, experts page, Drew Martin. We'll have the Saturday, Sunday college basketball cards up as well. So, guys, we got best bet for the show, the nightcap, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific. You can actually watch it, ESPNU, ESPN Plus. It is Milwaukee and Youngstown State in the Horizon League. Yeah, the Bealey Center in Youngstown, Ohio. Milwaukee Panthers, Youngstown State Penguins of Youngstown State, minus 1.5, 149.5 being the total. We get Milwaukee and Youngstown State, both with very similar records, 18-10, 12-5 in the Horizon. In Milwaukee, the number 2 offensive rebounding team in the country. This team crashes the board on the offensive side. Their head coach, Bart Lundy, it's his first year here. You might remember him at Louisiana. I do. He made the tournament there with the Raging Cajuns. He's taken the Milwaukee job, and they're starting to play faster basketball. They've gone over in 2 straight in 4 of their last 5. And when you look at Youngstown's kind of profile, they're playing at home. Their last 5 home games have all gone over 160 total points. This is a team that gets to the free throw line a bunch. They shoot good free throws. They've gone over in 5 of their last 6 games. They go up tempo overall, number 2 tempo team in the Horizon League. And both of these 2 teams combined in free throws, I think this game's going to have a bunch of stoppages, a bunch of free points, if you will. This is the number 1 and number 2 teams in terms of getting to the free throw line in the Horizon League. Also made free throws. So I think we're going to get a bunch of free points in our pocket, 149.5. I wouldn't be surprised if this gets into the 160s. So we're going Milwaukee, Youngstown State, best bet for the show, up and over 149.5. And we got the first game up, tipping us off Friday night, the weekend starter, Marquette and Villanova, under 142 and a hook. I'm Drew Martin checking out here for Friday. We'll be back early on Saturday. Come back and join us. Smash that like button, comment below. Cash those tickets. Enjoy the rest of your Friday night.